The number is 800-321-2900.
Okay, Lindsey, let's rush through some final calls here. I hope folks will get your material and educate others in their area, because the only thing that'll stop this is information and waking folks up. John, I've got so many calls here. Who's up next? John in Canada. We got to move quick, Pastor. John in Canada, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, Alex and Lindsey. It's an honor to talk with you.
Hi, John.
Hey, basically, my question is regarding the economic situation in regards to Canada. How do you see it playing out here in Canada?
Well, within the past week's time, this thing has become global to the point that they're just talking about what's going to happen in Europe, what's happening in Russia, closed down the stock market, currency exchange yesterday, China, Japan, Dubai. You see, Canada will not escape. It'll be the identical same thing we're talking about for the rest of the world, because you're connected with the British Empire.
Yeah, the globalists did this so they could globally bring everybody down at once and set up their world government. And Canada is so oil dependent that by the price being driven down to $33 a barrel right now, even at $50, it's not economically viable to pull out that oil shale. Correct, Lindsey?
That's correct. You can't even pay for oil shale anymore. Canada would be paying people to take it. So with this price, Canada is not exempt whatsoever. Get ready.
Another question. I was absolutely floored when you predicted the conflict with Russia. And then, a couple of months later, we had NATO forces.
That's right. We forgot he predicted that.
Yeah, and I was just wondering, do you see that conflict escalating, or is there going to be some other conflict that's going to rise?
Positively. Right now, Russia is in a collapsing position. They'll do what they've done with every nation. They'll collapse it. Then, if they want to bring it back, they will. And I was told by this individual a few months ago that Russia will be one of the greatest powers on the face of the earth in the future. So that means that they're going to revive them once they get through breaking them.
All right, that's all I had. Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, Russia kicked out the robber barons. Now they've got to be brought to brought to ground here. Good call, Brian in Florida. You're on the air with Lindsey Williams. Go ahead. Okay, Brian in Florida's gone. Dan in Alabama, you're on the air. Dan, go ahead.
I got a question for Lindsey.
Go ahead.
Yes, Dan.
There's 30 some states that want to secede from the Union. What's keeping them from going ahead and getting all the oil they want over in North Dakota and Montana and getting our own money?
Because by blowing out the economy, they've made it too expensive to now explore and get that oil that they know is there to then bring it to market. That's the whole point. Lindsey?
Yes, within a few days after the Montana legislator reading this into the congressional record, these scoundrels, they actually put up a bill before Congress not to allow any drilling in that area. We have been betrayed.
It's a global game of risk. Anything else, Dan?
No, that's mostly. I wonder why that people don't go ahead and get the oil themselves and get
because they won't give you the
money.
permits. They won't give you the permits in Alaska. They won't give you the permits in the Dakotas. They won't give you the permits in the Gulf of Mexico.
Thing is, if they're out of the union, they can do what they want to or not, can't they?
Yeah, they should. The state should. Go ahead, Lindsey.
Yeah, I was told by this individual a few months ago that they were not going to allow any major production in the United States of America anymore, that we would be kept obligated to foreign oil. The elite are doing it right through Congress and our president.
Yes, thanks for the... Okay,
I'd like to see the states tell them to get lost and go ahead and do it.
I hear you. Thank you, Dan. Warren in Michigan. Warren, you're on the air.
I'd like to thank both of you for everything that you're doing. Lindsey, I saw Energy Non-Crisis, and in that you allude to a date in the coming months where the market would be flooded with oil that could only be denominated in euros. Does that still hold to be true?
Yes, this individual said to me that they were going to open up two major oil fields in the world. Alex spoke of them a few moments ago, the one north of Russia, another one in Indonesia. And if the price of crude oil begins to go back up again, which it may, even they have an alternative plan. If it tries to go back up, they're going to bring on these two oil fields in order to crash it back down to where it is now.
Okay.
And let me add a key piece of information to all this from just Texas and Illinois and Oklahoma. They have found tens of thousands of huge oil and gas wells. And this has even been in the news. There's been lawsuits over this. It even happened with Clayton Williams, big Texas oil guy. He's still a small player. He's private. They go in, drill giant wells, find the gas and oil, and then they cap them, and the oil company says we're not, or they pump out 1% of pressure, and they wait with it. Just like you notice oil prices have gone down by more than 2/3 from $147+ a barrel to 33, but still it hasn't dropped that much comparatively to what it should have. It should be down at this price at $1.30 or so, but here in Texas it's $2 because the refineries were bought up by the big oil companies in the 90s. This has been in the Associated Press to artificially not allow enough gasoline to come to market. So what the oil companies have said here in Texas is that if it ever did go up again, they can drive it right back down again. Let's say the Arabs decided to cut it off years ago. They just turn on all these wells they've got. See how they've got every angle?
They already have a solution ready.
Yeah, they have, exactly. They have every angle covered. Only by politically saying you're a pack of robber baron, monopoly criminals, and taking control of the government and having them arrested could we ever stop this. That's the only solution. They rule finance, they rule energy, they rule military, they rule media, but they're not invincible. Look at how the mainstream media is imploding. So now the New York Times, the Toronto Star, the BBC is all announcing they're going to start shutting the web down. They're saying it because they're desperate because of what we are doing here and others. We have a small window to kick their butts. Lindsey, do you agree with that?
Oh, the masses, that's the only hope. And Alex Jones Show, folks, let me say it again, don't you miss Alex Jones Show one single day. You listen to him every day because things are happening so fast you have to keep up with it by 24 hours.
And more than that, record these shows, save the podcast, start your own shows because they could kill me or shut me up or imprison me. And believe me, they've been threatening it. This is a message, not about a person. And so just get the info out. A few final calls here. Let's talk to Tom in Kentucky. Tom, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Tom.
Nice to speak to you, too. I don't know if this has any bearing on anything, but July 24th, after Barack Obama's speech in Berlin, I watched him come out the rear of the building, and him and one reporter and one cameraman only, and he stated, what was the purpose of your speech? And he said, so Christians, Jews, and Muslims can worship as they choose together, because I'm a Muslim. He said he repeated that question 2 times. Do you think that will have any effect on how he governs our country?
It's already having effect. Look at the bill he signed yesterday. And he made the statement, he said, I was elected president, I will draw up the bill the way I want it.
Well, it's disgusting for him to, the very next day, run a reporter down who asked him to admit that he was a Muslim man. And also, one last point about how to prepare. I was told by a gun store owner that people need to start vacuum sealing ammunition and
if you
guns.
Can get it.
Yeah. If you can get it, it's sold out.
If you can even buy it. If you can buy a gun right now, you're a fortunate man. If you can buy ammunition, you go look for it. You try to find it.
Gold is selling out. Silver, Ted's almost sold out right now. Thank you for the call. Lindsey Williams, we've got to end it right there. If I have time, I'm going to get to a few of these final callers, but I want to thank you for spending time with us, and so much has developed. As this develops, let's just set you up to come on the show, if you've got the time, at least every 2 weeks for an hour to give us updates as all this unfolds and as you do more research and integrate it with the inside information you have that integrates with all of my inside information. Again, I just want to thank you so much for spending time with us and joining us.
I consider it a privilege to be with you, Alex. And again, folks, if you want this week, 800-321-2900. But don't you miss Alex Jones Show every day in between.
Lindsey, God bless you and take care.
Thank you, Alex.
You better take care, my friend. We'll talk to you soon. You'd think I'd be excited to have been right about all this, to have millions of people starting to tune in, to have the show exploding. I'm upset every day. I almost cry when I'm with my wife late at night. These are psycho criminals that are in control. There's not even any pleasure in the fact that we've been successful, because what are we successful in? Pointing that a freight train's coming to run us over and all these blind people couldn't see it? There's no more time to screw around and play games, folks. They're openly announcing world government to rule everything, and a world central bank that you'll pay carbon taxes to and money transfer taxes to, and bankrupting everything so you're beholden to the government. This is nightmarish. Please get the word out. Please say no. People are really waking up right now, and that's the silver lining in all of this.